All right, good day, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, 2/22/22. How do you like that for a number? All right, let's just dive right into headline hits today. I got some interesting stuff I want to share with you guys. Let's talk about Hawaii. That's the state where everybody loves to go. It's lots of recreation. It's very beautiful. Unfortunately, Hawaii is still it has become honestly the last state with the mask mandates. So let's read a little bit further. So Hawaii stands as the final state with the mandates over 2 years after starting the sickness pandemic. So this article on Breitbart, every other state in the country has announced plans ending their respective diaper mandates months ahead of the midterm elections, which some suspicious timing, obviously, and it's everybody's looking for reelection. So what are they going to do? They're going to do whatever it takes to get reelected. But this governor, the governor of Hawaii, David uh, Ige, he's a Democrat. I'm working with the Department of Health to determine when the time is right for Hawaii to lift the indoor mandates. And that's what he told the news channel there at KITV, that they are proven successful, that their mandates have been proven successful there in Hawaii. Hawaii ranks second in the nation when it comes to the sickness deaths, in part because of the indoor mask requirements and other measures that have proven successful in protecting our community from the potential deadly virus, he claims. So it goes on to say that his administration bases their decision on science. Okay, so this is where my frustration sets in. These leftists, these psychotic SOBs, to be honest with you, keep preaching that they follow the science. They follow the science. It's all about the science. Okay. Studies, however, have shown that the common cloth and surgical masks do not effectively filter out the virus. And admission by Dr. Flip Floppin' Fauci himself, privately made in February of 2020, email months before advocating for double masks. He says that there's no proof that the masks work. And it's so fun nowadays that you can go out and have these cloth masks made that match your outfit. And guess what? They don't work. So keep wearing them, folks. All right, let's move on to the next headline before I get too frustrated here. Let's talk about Rick Scott and the 11-point plan that he has with 128 promises that the Republican Party is now going to promote and push out there because they claim we can win elections by having plans. So would you guys like to know what those 11 points are? Well, even if you don't, I'm going to tell you anyway. All right, so here are the 11 points that the now Republican Party is going to make a promise to America to bring back this country. Point number one, our kids will say the Pledge of Allegiance, salute the flag, learn that America is a great country, and choose the school that best fits them. Point number two, government will never again ask American citizens to disclose their race, ethnicity, or skin color on any government form. Point number two, the soft on crime days of coddling criminal behavior will end. We will refund and respect the police because they, not the criminals, are the good guys. Point number four, we will secure our border, finish building the wall, and name the wall after President Donald Trump. Point number five, we will grow America's economy, starve Washington's economy, and stop socialism. Point number six, we will eliminate all federal programs that can be done locally and enact term limits for federal bureaucrats and Congress. Point number seven, we will protect the integrity of America, democracy, and stop left-wing efforts to rig elections. Point number eight, we will protect, defend, and promote American families at all costs. Point number 9, men are men, women are women, and unborn babies are babies. We believe in the science. Point number 10, America will be free to welcome God into all aspects of our lives. And point number 11, we are Americans, not globalists. So that's what the Republicans are going to run on for the midterms of 2022. And that is their promise to America. That's 11 points of 128 promises that they plan to deliver. So stay tuned, folks. All right, let's hit the next headline. I found this very strange. Biden's ambassador to Germany returns to U.S. just days after being on the job. And on top of it, old Hills Up Kamala has refused to let her fly on Air Force Two. So this lady, Amy Gutman, has returned to the United States just days after first reporting for duty during the Munich Security Conference, taking a commercial flight back to the United States after Vice President Kamala Hills Up Harris refused to let her fly home on Air Force Two. So she went over there Thursday of last week. They hurried and certified her in Congress to become the new ambassador to Germany. And with everything that's popping off over there in Europe, there was some concerns that we needed to have an ambassador there. So Gutman, who presented her credentials just days ago, Thursday of last week, to begin work as the U.S. ambassador to Germany, attended meetings in Munich Security Conference with world leaders and fellow top U.S. officials, including Harris and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. Instead of staying in Germany to work at this critical time in foreign policy in Europe, an embassy spokesman confirmed that Gutman is now back stateside just days after first reporting for duty. Germany is one of the key geographic centerpieces of the unfolding Russia-Ukraine conflict. Given Biden's decision to allow Nord Stream 2, the Russian natural gas pipeline in Germany, to proceed after his predecessor, former President Donald Trump, held up the pipeline during his administration. Then it goes on further to say that Biden opened up the pipeline and now threats of the potential invasion of Ukraine perhaps represents the possibility of the biggest war in Europe since World War II. Okay, I'm going to leave that there because I'm going to follow up on this in another headline here. But why is the Biden administration keep pushing this whole war thing? But yet Ukraine is telling the world that our administration here in America is gaslighting. I find that very odd. All right, here we go. Next headline, we're going to talk about more of the Russia here. Russia acts like they've decided to invade. It could happen any day, but we won't impose sanctions on Russia yet. So this is the press secretary for the Pentagon. All right, and Monday's broadcast with Fox News Channel, America's Newsroom, Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby said that Vladimir Putin is acting in a way consistent with a man who has decided that he wants to invade Ukraine, and every indication is that he's prepping for a large-scale invasion, which could happen any day. But the U.S. won't impose sanctions on Russia because we want them to have a dissent effective clearly, and he hasn't invaded yet. So it goes on to say that they're opening the door for him to walk away, but Putin is posturing, and he's going to come in after these a couple of different, I guess, villages or something, areas, whatever you want to call them, counties that they want as part of Russia. But yet the Ukraine keeps putting out there that this is all nonsense. Quit gaslighting. You're making it out to be more than what it truly is. All right, let's move on to the next headline, which is still Russia. So Germany, the German Chancellor Scholz blocks approval for Russia's Nord Stream 2 pipeline over Putin's moves in the Ukraine. So even though Biden is pushing for this pipeline, now Germany's standing up against Russia and saying, "Hey, you're not going across our borders here, pal. We are going to shut this down." So, effective immediately, Germany is not going to allow that pipeline to go through. And don't forget that pipeline goes through Europe and heads right over to China. So now, Germany is getting involved. They're gonna put a halt on the pipeline, which is going to affect China. So what is China's response going to be to that? I don't know. Let's stay tuned and figure it out. All right, last two headlines of the day. Let's talk about the face of tyranny. This is the face of tyranny right here, folks. Let's start off with the mayor of Ottawa. The mayor of Ottawa wants to sell trucks confined and confiscated from the Freedom Convoy protesters. Ottawa Mayor, now listen to this. Ottawa Mayor Jim Watson on Saturday proposed selling trucks and other vehicles seized during the police violent dismantling of the Freedom Convoy. Now, I watched a lot of videos on this Freedom Convoy, and it was everything. It was peaceful, a lot of music, a lot of people just showing love, and the law enforcement there in Canada and Ottawa came in and violently dismantled the whole thing. So they stated that the Canadians' capital legal right to do as Trudeau's government shockingly invoked the Emergency Act. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this. We actually have the ability to confiscate those vehicles and sell them, Watson said, according to the Canadian Public Broadcasting, the CBC. And I want to see them sold. I don't want the return of these people who's causing such frustration against our community. So this is the mayor of Ottawa, that he wants to see all these vehicles sold, each and every one of them. He wants them gone. This is the face of tyranny, folks. Over the weekend, law enforcement in Ottawa arrested 191 individuals during its violent crackdown on the city's Freedom Convoy protest and issued 391 charges, including mischief and obstructing police. Pray for these people. Pray for these people. I'm telling you, man, they're fighting the fight, and we have to support them. We have to support them. Pray for them. So let's go to the last headline because it still deals with this. The face of tyranny right there in Canada. And I'm telling you, folks, it's not going to stop in Canada. Old Biden there, he's watching this closely. His administration's watching this closely. I know there's whispers that he's already invoked an Emergencies Act. I don't know. I can't prove or disprove it. All I can tell you is these people do not want patriots standing up. They do not want our voices heard. So let's dive into this headline. It says, tyranny. Canadian Parliament votes for the Emergency Act motion. Canadian Parliament voted Monday night to approve Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's motion to invoke the Emergencies Act by a vote of 185 to 151 against. Trudeau invoked the Emergency Act, an unprecedented move, last week, claiming it necessary to dispel peaceful protest linked to the Freedom Convoy movement, which is demanding an end to the civil rights violations of the Trudeau government, allegedly necessary to fight the Chinese sickness. At press time on Monday, no active Freedom Convoy protests existed anywhere in Canada. So I want you guys to realize something here, that this has never been done in Canadian history. What Trudeau has done and invoked this Emergencies Act is illegal. This is tyranny. They don't care. The Emergencies Act was invoked for the first time in Canadian history to halt Freedom Convoy protests across the country, which included blockades of border crossings in Ontario, Montreal, and Alberta. Although all of the border blockades ended before the Emergencies Act was formally invoked last week. Instead, the act was largely used to clear protests in the Canadian capital, Ottawa, over the weekend and was used to freeze the bank accounts of those linked to the protest. It was also used to force tow truck companies, keyword, force, tow truck companies to remove trucks in Ottawa occupying the area around the Parliament building after the government had trouble hiring tow truck drivers previously, as many allegedly refused. So there are tow truck companies out there that would not comply until the government invoked an emergency act to force them to comply. Force them to comply. This is the face of tyranny. You're not allowed to voice your grievances against your own government. If you voice your grievances against your own government, this is what a tyrannical government does. Canadian banks will receive names of people involved in the Freedom Convoy protests that can be dissented on in the National's capital, a first step in the financial crackdown of demonstrators being instituted by the far left government of Justin Trudeau himself. They want to seize your bank accounts. They want to confiscate your vehicles and then sell them. Tyranny. Tyranny, folks. It's sad, but we have to still support. We can't quit. We can't give up. We will not back down. So I hope you guys enjoyed the headline hits this morning. We'll be back later tonight at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook for the big show. That's really all I have for today, guys. So have a great day. We'll see you later.